So, anyways, hi Kurt, how are you doing?
Good. I mean, I'm not dissatisfied with the sentence. I would have been happier with a death penalty sentence, but
hmm
knowing that he will spend the rest of his life looking at a wall forever, watching the days pass
hmm
by with no hope, is also somewhat validating, I have to admit.
Oh no, I agree. I fully agree. And yes, I would have loved for him to sit there and have to deal with old Sparky, but that wasn't on the cards. Yeah. But no, I don't know if you heard about this yesterday. This basically turned into a let's shit on the defense counsel
Yeah.
day. And yes, I get it. Oh no, they stuck a middle finger up. Oh my god, this is like that's like
Yeah.
killing 17 people.
And, everyone's entitled to the right to an attorney, and their attorneys
Yeah.
did their job in diligence and apparently were able to
hmm
convince the jury who had the ultimate determination.
Yeah. And
So,
honestly,
okay,
yeah. Yeah, and they're like, "Well, the
fair.
prosecutors, you didn't do anything wrong, but you guys." It's like Petty Letter says if you're ever falsely accused, or even just accused, period, you're going to want a really good defense, and everyone deserves it. Everyone deserves to have a defense attorney who's not going to get bullied and harassed. But this is conduct that's becoming acceptable based on what these victims are saying. The judge not stopping it. Sean is salty today. Hey, we have, this is a fucking rule. It's a pretty big, important thing. I really want to make sure we protect it because it protects me then. So yeah, I want to make sure the parachutes always work. I don't like people sitting there snipping at the parachutes with scissors. That's a bad thing. The one girl got up and she said, "I'm not even talking to you, Cruz," and immediately just started shitting all over counsel. The judge didn't stop it.
Ms. McNeil, were your feelings hurt yesterday? Because here I
Judge
thought
needs
you
to
were a
stop it.
soulless
This is
person
once
along with
again
your fat
bullshit.
news team. Since the entirety of this
This
trial,
is
you have behaved as
nonsense.
such, not once looking over at us, instead feeling empathy and compassion for the murderer. Whatever so-called attacks you're receiving,
Yeah.
you brought upon yourselves, each and
Mhm.
every one of you. Had you
It should
handled
be
this case with
stopped.
more class and professionalism, we perhaps could have focused our negative feelings solely on the murderer. But professionalism, class, and respect is something only the prosecution seems to be acquainted with.
Yeah, this is
I will
ridiculous.
repeat your words. Remember, this was a personal moral decision you all made. Like when you decide to marry someone or when you don't want to marry someone. So look into your heart, look into your soul, and learn to live with the fact that you condone the slaughter of 17 innocents.
Fuck off.
But I promise you that one day, I don't know when, you will ask yourself, did I make the right decision? Thank you, Your Honor, for the way you conducted this entire trial.
Yawn.
Mike, Jeff, Carolyn, Nicole,
Fuck
Steven,
you.
Aaron,
Shook you.
and
Fuck
Lauren.
you, sugar tits.
Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. You did not fail any of us at all. You are part of my family, and we are eternally grateful for each and one of you. Eagles Heaven and State Advocates, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
See, this is why you guys don't let that happen. This isn't. Is that really? Was that a victim impact statement? All of you out there saying this is nonsense and getting mad at me. Woman had no control over that courtroom. It was pathetic.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that it was just going to be quietly forgotten. Put into a hole and quietly forgotten is as much as he deserves.
Oh, and that part should be, but the way the judge conducted this should not be. But yes, he should be forgotten about. And I you can't just sit there like you're processing this guy's bank loan. That's not how this works. So
yeah,
I get it.
It's not realistic. I mean, and people use comedy often to cut against tragedy.
Yeah, and also prepping. I mean, they're all laughing in the back. So, like, should I say they're all bullshit and this really didn't affect them? Because at some points they were laughing together. I mean, everybody uses laughter. Everybody uses jokes.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point, if we could say, oh well, if they laughed, it doesn't matter. If you laugh, you're not sincere. I don't think you want to go down that road. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying we shouldn't go down that road.
I mean, their job is very simple and baseline. It's the job of every attorney. Rule 1-1 is zealously represent their client competently.
Bring home that dub, and they got it. That's their job. You and I said this before. You can scream and cry at the cornerback for intercepting that pass. Why aren't you yelling at the quarterback? Like that one guy's one side got the win, one side didn't.
I trust the prosecution. You did not lose this case.
Yes, they did.
Thank you.
Yes, they
Mike?
did. You know,
Yeah.
that's how this goes.
Yeah.
Nuance Observer says, I'm not for mob rule. Yes, I'm not for rule by emotion in that regard. Jordan Crow says that Gutenberg guy asked for Mr. Weeks, the elected public defender, to resign. Why? Because Gutenberg's tampons were sliding out. And Kurt, you don't have to stick around for this part, but I'm going to be unleashing on people. No, that because he's an emotional beta. That's his answer. He wants to talk to a manager. He thinks that's not right. That's why he wanted the guy to resign. Why? Because these guys represented their client and they did it the right way. That's why he wants him to resign. That part was just a little nonsensical, I thought. I think those defense attorneys needed support. They deserve it.
No, I agree with that.
Rich
Defense
G
attorneys
says,
have to do their job. That's what their job is.
one of the parents of one of the victims gets up, one of the teachers like, I'm an attorney. And as Rich G says, acts like a total pleb in the middle of it. He's like, I would have been sanctioned if I acted like you guys. Like, no, you wouldn't have. You're defending your client. And like that just tells me alone this guy's some sort of, transactional lawyer. And then he at the end,
transactional lawyers were all right.
I know, but he's trying to act like he's been in the trenches, and it's like, and then he says at the end of his thing, he's like, Judge, I demand this through FOIA, and I will be getting it. I'm going to demand all the expenditures they made on this case, the experts they hired, how much these people were paid, and it's like none of that's being done except to solely harass the public defender's office, even if they give it. Do you really want, like, God forbid, you need help, your attorney getting hounded like that? Is that really what you want? No, that's Soviet level bullshit. That's bullshit I expect in Eastern Europe. That's bullshit I expect in everywhere else in the world except for here. America, yeah, I saw a bit of a statement from Nick's stream, and even though the guy's a monster, he still deserves representation, and the defense doesn't deserve being attacked for it. Exactly. Because what's going to happen? Eventually, you might need representation, and what? You think anybody's going to want to represent you if they're going to get yelled at and harassed like that? Probably not. Oh my God, what is wrong with you? These people's families were hunted down. Sure. And they're victims, and they have every right to come in and address their grievances.
My name is Sam Fuentes. You might not remember me, but in high school, we walked the same hallways. You knew my friends. I knew where you sat at lunch. Hey, we were even both in a JROTC together. We were still children back then. I was still a child when I saw you standing at the window, peering into my Holocaust studies class, holding your AR-15. After I watched you kill 2 of my friends, I was still a child when you shot me with your gun. You shot me in the leg, and if you looked me in the face like I'm looking you right now, you would see the scars on it from the hot shrapnel that was lodged into it. Do you remember? After you sprayed my classroom with bullets, standing in the dorm frame, peering into see the work you've done? Do you remember my little battered, bloody face looking back at you? I could have sworn we locked eyes. This is only the beginning of how you ruined my life and many others. It's not the physical suffering. It's not just that you killed and injured a total of 34 people. It's the fact that I'll have to live with the aftermath of this for the rest of my life. I'll always have PTSD, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideations. Speaking of suicide, 3 students killed themselves because of what you did. Now, to speak quite frankly, not only do I want to kill myself sometimes, I live with constant fear that someone exactly like you will finish off the job you failed to do by not killing me. You gave me and many others a lifetime of trauma, pain, and suffering, long after you committed this crime, and for what? You are nobody now. You are not special. You have no longer the power anymore. You will step away from this, and you will have the most unremarkable, pathetic existence, one in which I only pray that you suffer. I remember the person you were. I remember how you terrorized and threatened and fought my friends, even after many of them made efforts to get to know you better. I remember how enthusiastic you were to incite violence and spread your racist hate speech publicly. I could have saved all of us 4.5 years. So here it is. You were a hateful bigot with an AR-15 and a God complex. You still are, minus the gun. You might have everyone else fooled, but not me, because this is personal. Racism is not a mental illness. Perfectly planned and articulated manifestos and plans are not characteristics of the sickly or the mentally unhinged. You are not this helpful, vulnerable, mentally ill adult the defense tried to paint you as, and you certainly do not deserve any sympathy or pity from me or anyone in this courtroom. You had circumstances that placed you at odds with the world. Yet instead of trying to solve your problems, you threw a tantrum of lethal and tremendous size. Like a pathetic, entitled child, you made the message clear that you lack the competency to make any decisions except those that resort to violence. I assure you, you will not be famous for this. I assure you that our people will be accounted for, they'll grow and heal despite you. I assure you that I will be excitedly anticipating your demise. And I will assure you that you will remember my face, and it will make you sick. You have no power anymore. You have no future. You have nothing. I'll get to walk out of this courthouse without cuffs and go home. You will not. The people that you killed will have a legacy much more important than you. And the people who nearly killed will live their lives, though with much difficulty, with a compassion and a dignity in ways you will only dream. Without your stupid gun, you are nothing. My name is Sam Fuentes, and you will not forget me. I'll never forgive or forget what you've done. And to say I won't be angry for the rest of my life would be a lie, even though I know that's exactly what you want. Though I'm angry about this verdict and believe you do not deserve to share the same earth as the rest of us, unlike you, in a state of great adversity, I can proudly say I'll never stoop as low as you will. And as you did. I'll never take my anger, pain, and suffering out on others because I am stronger than you. This entire community that stands behind me is stronger than you. And we are stronger than the hate that you give. My name is Sam Fuentes. You will not forget me. You will not forget us, not until the last day that you breathe.
See, no, that was actually very powerful. I thought she did a very good job. She laid into him and focused on him. What's her name again? Sam Fuentes. She did a very good job. I thought she did a decent job. That's the purpose of a victim impact statement. You get the chance to say what this has done to you. And for her, it sounds like a lot. She didn't try to run around and talk about how things need to get fixed or what they're going to do. You know, she talked about her pain, and that's what this is meant to be. You're not meant to plug your nonprofits, not meant to claim the laws you're getting passed or going to fix. No. Did you not see her smirk? You know, she can sit there and like throw rubber dildos at him for all I care. She could smirk at him. Yeah, you tried to kill me and now you're going away forever. Like, I might smirk. I might laugh. Like, if I was in her position, I'd laugh at you and call you, like, I'd say, like, Nicholas, you fucking retard. You couldn't even manage to kill me. I don't blame her for smirking. I mean, that was entirely professional. She could have called him a shit-healing motherfucker for all I care. And that would have been fine. She has every right to do that. And, you know, did you not see her smirk? I give a shit less if she smirked. She was professional. She was professional and respectable and respectful. You know, 10 out of 10.
My justice does not lie in knowing if you live or if you die. My justice lives in knowing that I loved, because I experienced a love that a lot of people go their whole lifetimes without experiencing. Joaquin loved me entirely with his whole being, and I choose love. So in the end, I think that I win. I think that I win because I will continue my life honoring something that people believe is a fairy tale. And it's not. This whole thing is so real life. The love that Joaquin gifted me will last my lifetime. It will last many lifetimes. And I'm proud to stand here and say that. And you showed me the importance of love, and that I need to celebrate it, and that I need to preach it, and that I need to wake up every day and make someone smile so that they don't go through the world feeling like you did or you do. I don't wish that for anyone. And I wish that it didn't bring you to what you did. I wish that you had more love in your heart. And I want to say that, no matter who will hate me for it. I wish that you had love in your heart. I wish that. And on behalf of Joaquin, you may have taken my body, and for that, fuck you, but you cannot take my love. And that is all I have to say.
Very powerful. I didn't think she'd reproach her for swearing, but they're going to let her swear. It was for her friend, but it sounds like the family let her speak. And she did everything right. That was a good one, too. But being a victim doesn't excuse you to assail people doing their constitutionally appointed duties.
Him from not getting the death penalty.
Goddamn right, they brought home the dub, folks. They brought home that dub.
I actually think you all believe it. You've endured something worse than us, which is why you've behaved the way you have with us.
Fuck you, Fred. Fuck you.
Months we've been here,
Fuck you.
not a single one of you has actually ever even looked in our direction.
That's not their job,
Made
you
an effort
dumb
to say,
fuck. Their job's to
sorry for
represent
your
their
loss.
client. That's not how that works. That's not how this
Now, I
works.
understand you had a job to do defending
So
the
then why
defense-
are you bringing it up,
defending
you
a
fucking
mass murder
asshole?
of 17 people.
You dumb
I
fuck.
understand that was hard, and you were doing your job as you were required to do. But I'm not sure anywhere along the way there was a requirement that you give up your humanity and you
Oh,
give up your decency,
fuck
but you
you.
did.
Fuck you.
That was a choice.
Fuck
you
you, you cunt. You fucking shit
made.
healing
I got your
faggot.
email
Fuck you.
apologizing because we've always seen you all turning this into that.
Fuck you.
But again, you didn't get the death penalty. You did your job. I hope you're all proud of yourselves.
They are goddamn proud of it. Fuck you again, Fred.
You know, I believe in the Ringo Starr philosophy of life, peace and love. I do.
I doubt it.
You don't sound like it.
So with that, I need to address some of the other comments from Mr. Weeks yesterday.
Fuck you. Fuck you,
Suggesting.
Fred. Right now, Fred, I hope you see this. I
I
hope
knew
you...
nothing about them.
Fuck
We've
you.
all got to know each other.
Fuck you.
Making sure our schools are safer, our streets are safer.
How about the Constitution, Fred?
I traveled this
What
country.
about
I
that?
haven't worked. Now, while I was sitting there, I was having chest pains and shortness of breath.
Too bad it didn't finish the
And you
job.
want to know? I didn't say a word.
Because you're
I
an
didn't
idiot.
want to hear you call to the judge because it happened in front of the jury and ask for a mistrial. And so I sat there with chest pains. And
Aw.
the second the second the medical examiner finished talking about my
What
daughter,
chest pain?
my wife immediately got me out of the room.
Whoa. Whoa.
And I ended up with weeks of testing from a cardiologist, and thankfully I am okay. I have a broken heart, but I am okay.
Sound like you have a
But
broken vagina.
The need to sit here silently
Everybody clapped.
while you all did what you did,
It's called the
while you had a
Constitution.
neighbor. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm only looking to see two more things happen today. One will be your formal sentencing of him. And the other one, I want to see Gordon Weeks resign before the end of the day today.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Suck my dick, Fred. Suck my dick. You unconstitutional, undermining shitbag motherfucker. Fuck you. Fuck you. So much for your kid's memory.
As for the defense, you did not win, and you.
Yes, they did.
The system failed us. Okay, not
They
the
certainly
prosecution,
won.
not the court. Ask me if I feel sorry for Mr. Wheeler or Ms. McNeil, who had such thin skins that they objected during this proceeding over what was said. Mr. Weeks, how do you live with yourself for making such an indecent,
Seriously, Judge, stop this
insensitive,
now.
and unprofessional
This
statement
is not a
like you did
victim
yesterday?
impact statement.
No
This needs to
one
stop.
had to endure what your attorneys had to endure. I'm sorry, but I don't believe any of your attorneys or our loved ones were murdered by the bastard your offices represent.
This is why it's wrong.
If I had done half of what you did, I would have been held in contempt of court. Because
No, you wouldn't have.
judge would allow that.
You
And
would
for
not
that,
have. You would
I
not have.
credit the judge.
You fucking
because she
liar.
knew by doing
You
that,
fucking liar.
we could have a mistrial immediately.
Liar.
Now, one last request, Your Honor. I apologize. I would like to make a formal request to you, or to whoever it has to be on the record, to the Public Defender's Office. I'm requesting that under the Freedom of Information Act, that the Public Defender's Office make available to me within 30 days, including but not limited to the following documents: each invoice to experts, each billing statement for work done, each and every invoice for disbursements incurred for the representation of the shooter, the amount paid to each public
This
defender,
tampon
and the
jizzy.
compensation to any person. who
Drizzle
was
your
compensated
tampon
to
out, you
represent
fucking
the
asshole.
shooter.
This is all done to
This
shame and
day
harass
has been long
people.
coming. Didn't know how it'd feel right now.
This is bullshit.
Don't feel any better because he's still breathing. The day he stops breathing, I will feel better. Thank you.
Now you know why, guys, you don't let this go on. Because now he's talking about trying to harass and intimidate the public defender's office. Fuck that noise. Fuck all that noise. Oh, sitting there crying about his son, and then what's he do? Try to do that? How is that relevant? How is that a victim impact statement?
The defense lawyers are doing everything
Yeah.
lawfully.
They
not the
did their
ones
job.
They're not the ones who hunted the family down.
Yeah. They did their
And
job.
so,
Yeah.
you know.
It's you don't get the right to just spurg out on people in court because things didn't go your way. Like we have rules, and we're supposed to have those rules.
yeah.
I look at you sitting there right now, looking the way you should have looked through the entire trial, like a convicted murderer, in your prison outfit, shackled. It is still incomprehensible to me that when we went through the penalty phase of this trial, which you were already a convicted murderer for, that you were able to sit there looking like Howdy Doody in whatever outfit they felt like putting you in for the day.
Once again,
Your
more
hairstyle,
constitutional
Your
ignorance.
mask on, your seat really low like a little boy, faking out the jury as to
Why?
who you really
Fred's
are.
getting a tampon attack. He doesn't like the Constitution.
We
folks.
endured
Ooh,
months.
yeah. Yes, the Constitution doesn't stop applying because somebody's a piece of shit. You know, everything applies in this Constitution. Not, oh, well, because I'm a victim and I'm mad. Okay, great. As I said, being a victim does not make you right. Anyways, guys, look, I normally don't get fired up like that, but I can't tolerate that nonsense because remember, at the end of the day, say whatever the fuck you want. This is the prize. This is the goal here. This is to be protected. I don't care what happens or what someone did. This has to be protected. This is the ultimate issue. You may not like that, but that's the breaks. Because if you protect this for Nicholas Cruz, guess what? You're protecting yourself. So out of self-interest alone, you should be wanting to protect this. But to allow what happened today to keep going, sad. Sad should never happen. You know what? Great, your emotions are running high. The judge still needs to step in and be the judge and be the referee.